the three pack. So we all just have buyers that are just you haven't been able. They haven't even gone through the motions of talking to the lender yet, and they won't get in the car, they won't go look at houses and so forth. And so years ago in our team, we've implemented a couple tricks of getting potential buyers to look at homes, because if you can get them out looking, that's half the battle. Yeah. So first one is, I love focusing on new builds. And so what I would do is you've had discussions with these buyers. You kind of got an idea of what they're looking for: bedrooms, bathrooms, pools, whatever the case is. But you just haven't been able to get them in the car. So pick a new build and just go invite them on a Saturday morning or whatever the case is. Let's just go look at one model home. We're just going to look at one home. We're not going to spend a lot of time. I know, Todd, you're not buying right now, but I just want you to see what's out there. But tease with rates. So like I have here this example. This was we all get these from the builders. But this was the subject line: 3.75% rate lock with 1.0 buy down and 1% closing cost credit. That's attractive.
Yes, it is.
Hey, so let's go take a look. What if I could get you into, you're one that you're going to have, 3.75% interest rate. Let's just go look at one model, because what we know, Todd, and you and I have done a lot of new builds together. New builds sell themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everything. I mean, just think about it. A resale home, you move in, somebody's lived there before. You ever lifted up a carpet and looked underneath, that nice light
I lifted up my carpet,
silt?
and that was bad.
Yeah. Well, that's exfoliated skin. Yeah, that's what you want, is your baby crawling around on your and your dog's
Todd made
skin.
it funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
No, but it's legit. So, we used to talk about this years ago. You brought it up. You said years ago. We've been doing a lot of new builds. We certainly have, hundreds. And so I can tell you that new builds are a tricky thing. And the nice thing is that you've got the person on site. So if you're not good at converting people, you've got the builder's representative there, and that's their job. That's what they're going to do the moment they walk in the door. They're going to use every single sense that consumer has. And I don't mean common sense. I'm talking more about, smell, sight, touch, and they're going to walk you through. If they think that this is even a possibility, they're going to get up from their chair and they're going to walk you through that model home. And if they don't, you should ask for them to do that and help you do that. There are some small tricks of the trade that if you use them when you first walk in the door, the builder will respect you. They really don't like resale agents unless you are there and have been there quite a few times. But that's common with really anything. But new builds are a great idea, Mike, because it removes 90% of the stigmatizations of a resale home. You get the brand newest features, you get the best insulation, you get the best products. You're not buying a 30-year-old hot water heater. It's brand new. It might not last 30 years, but you got some brand new appliances and everything, and you can negotiate even refrigerators with the builder. So,
well, you're in a controlled environment too.
Yeah.
I mean, these spec homes, this situation is set up to be able to walk through buyers through a nicely built out, set up, staged property. You get them excited about the opportunity to go and look. And I think I've heard Clint Fouts make this point to many agents for a long time. When you've got buyers that are on the fence, go start walking them through new build communities. So I'm not sure if you stole from him or he stole from you, but I love this point as a great way to get them off the bench.
Well, Clint's not here right now in the room, so he stole from me.
He's listening though, so he'll be here in a second.
But if you're going to do this, have the new build talk with them about do 100%. Not ever go into new build. I'm going to get you really excited today, but don't do this without me, and really walk through those dangers.
Well, this is kind of, if you're following the NAR requirements, and you're getting a buyer to sign the, agreement to show property or an exclusive buyer broker, which is what you should be getting. You solved 75, 80% of those particular types of issues. But it's
a good point, Todd, because in order to do this, they do need to sign a buyer broker agreement. So now you've got them practicing signing something.
Yep.
All right. So then, or if they're not interested in new builds, then go onto the MLS and do a resale home. And I could just, call it your top pick, Mike's top pick of the day or whatever. So pick just one home. Again, we're not going out home shopping. We're just going out to look at a home. So pick one home from the MLS that meets their needs. Make sure to pick one that offers the best value. Pay attention to the photography on it.
Yes.
The cheapest one isn't necessarily the one with the best value. Which one's going to show the best, but not necessarily the most expensive one, and so that you can present value. But also now look at concession history for the neighborhood. You need to know, like, over the last 90 days, there's been 8 closings, and on average in this neighborhood, sellers are giving up X amount of thousands of dollars in concessions. And this is what we can do with those concessions, Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. And then again, just invite them to go out and look at the home.
You know, every year, no matter what time of year it is, builders want to get off of inventory homes where they've either fallen out of escrow or they've been a production home that's been move-in ready for a few weeks, and they just want to roll it, and they want to keep that inventory turning so they get the next lot released. But along that, you're probably saying, well, where do I go to find anything about new homes? Well, I'm digressing to number one a little bit here, but go into the products tab of Armless. So go into Flex MLS, go to products, look under, scroll all the way down to the bottom. It's the last item on the bottom in the middle column. It's called Ultimate New Home Search. And you can basically search similarly to a Armless search, but the difference is please start on the hardly put anything in phase and then move one piece at a time, because it doesn't really operate. The more you put in, the more you miss that's out there. But it's really a good time to do that. And if you're going to do resale, so I'm just going to talk about that real quick. If you're going to do resale and you're going to pick that home, Mike, you're absolutely right. If they're contemplating putting a pool in, pick one with a pool. That way they can see it. Maybe they can also realize, I can't live without it. Or on the other hand, this is a pretty big responsibility.
Yeah. And if you are going to do the ultimate new homes, I've learned, do not put your clients' information and register them, because they will get blown up.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. I think the number 2 would be a good opportunity to have them on your systems. So your mobile app, that gives you the insight into what homes they're searching for consistently. Whether they're looking with you or not, you can see what homes they're touring online through your app. That gives you insight, even if you're not able to get them out in the car. So that might be a way to leverage your systems to see. And then when you do pick that home, oh my gosh, you're checking a lot of boxes of things that we've been looking at online without really talking to you about that. So that's a nice way to kind of segue.
So I did this about a year ago. True story. Had a young gentleman, vet, and Ryan and I had been talking to him for years, and just couldn't get him to do anything. And so we started at cocktails.
Surprise.
Yeah. So that always gets people out. And then we said, hey, let's go look at a couple new builds. And he goes, okay. So we go out, loved him, got really excited. Turns out it was more money than he wanted to spend. So then we ended up at a top pick on a resale, and he bought. But the point of the matter was he got excited by getting into the car. So that leads to point number 3. Get them used to the process, or getting them used to the process can be a difference maker. Practice, practice, practice. Getting them into the car can go a long ways. Going out and even just looking at a home. They've done it. Signing a buyer broker agreement, they've actually signed something, and it can remove a lot of emotional barriers. And we're not putting pressure on them. I'm not even making them talk to Justin at this point. I just want to get them to want to look at homes, and then if they go out and they want to look at homes, then maybe they want to buy. And it provides you the opportunity to shine, to now share your knowledge of the market and your negotiating strategies and so forth.
Yeah, another thing too is constantly sending them a specific home. Now I know our CRMs do this, MLS does this, but I'm talking about each week, just because it's what you should be doing anyway. You should be pulling the least expensive 3-bedroom home out there, the least expensive 4-bedroom home out there, the least expensive 4-bedroom, 1,800 square feet and higher, so you get a 10 by 10 or 10 by 12 bedroom, secondary bedrooms. Then go into maybe specialties, big box homes or golf course properties, so whatever you think you like. But where I'm headed really with this is, if they're looking at 4-bedroom homes, when you see a really awesome deal on a 4-bedroom home, If you're excited, if you think, oh my gosh, this is a really good buy, that's the house you send to the client.
Yep.
And you say to them, hey, you know what? I don't send you a bunch of stuff. MLS does that. But here's the thing. You need to look at this particular home. And you know what? If you'd like, even if you're not ready to, and you can say that, that's okay. Even though you're not ready to do business today, I'd like to take you out tomorrow and show you this house.
Yep.
Yeah, I think number 3, I mean, the emotional barrier of purchasing a home is a terrifying aspect for a lot of people, especially if they've been renting their entire lives. Putting that money down is scary. It's a huge decision, and that's what they're doing. They're making a decision. So you getting them ready to the process, them building trust with you, gets them to be okay to get into that car, to go walk through that home, because that could be the thing that's paralyzing them from moving through, is just they're not ready to make that step. So walking them through it, being a consistent guiding light, not being forceful, just being there as a resource, as a support, gets them to trust you. And then when they are ready to go and walk through that home, you're going to pick you to do that. And now you've got that relationship built forever because they've trusted you through this process.
All right. One thing I've learned in life is that you can ignore your spouse, you can ignore your kids. I ignore Nick all the time.
Fact.
You cannot ignore the IRS. If you are investing in real estate or you work with people investing in real estate, you need to understand the new FinCEN law.
Yep.
That's already gone into effect. You can't ignore the IRS. If you don't know about this, and then your investors don't know about this, you can get in a lot of trouble. Yeah. They can get into a lot of financial problem. You can get into a lot of financial problem if you're investing. So we have a good friend, Bianca Lemons from Fidelity, coming up here to the North Phoenix office this Wednesday at 11 a.m. It is a just simple 1-hour class, just understanding some of the ins and the outs of the FinCEN law. And your title company is not necessarily going to be able to do a whole ton of advising, but you're going to also have to bring in an accountant into this now, and understanding how to complete. Because she sent me a link on a property, and so I opened up the link and I started going through all the questions I had to answer.
It's substantial.
It's substantial.
Yeah. And I've been through 2 of these talks. I'm excited to see Bianca go through it. People are a little bit confused, especially those that are working heavily with investors or people buying out of trusts or LLCs using private money. Sit through this class. Even if you've sat through one, I would recommend sitting through another one. Again, the liability is mostly on title, but you as the agent need to understand what questions you need to be having a conversation with your buyers.
Yep.
All right. So that's going on Wednesday. All right, let's talk about something fun, because I do not like talking about IRS or taxes. All right, I don't want to introduce.
But we like making money.
We do, but I still don't like it.
But that's what Alyssa's going to do. She's going to help us make money.
That is true. The IRS just, you just kind of just have that initial anxiety when you hear the word IRS. Yeah. All right, I want to